position on Metalopolis. Member of the team NS Hosa, Van's partner in crime. They're both pro bosses, they're buddies. He's down, he's tied up right now after losing that last game. He is. Also, his name means mountain. That's the little intro there.
In case anyone didn't catch that the first 8 times we said it.
Yeah, I just had to say it over and over again.
I
so
waited.
Everyone knows.
I didn't start. And in the left side, I almost said his name. Purple Zerg always plays as purple. Steals my color, known as
Sheth.
And there is Mr. Sean Simon.
Very difficult name to say. Sheth for Koreans.
And it looks like, what does that pylon on the low ground mean?
What does it mean? Well, it means he's going to go for a fastest span. Most likely, when he scouts in here and sees that Sean is going for a extractor first, he's probably going to make a forge before Nexus. You can get away with the Nexus first on this map, but it's relatively risky. And there's a shot of him using his keyboard in his lap. Sheth style.
The Sheth board.
The Sheth board.
As we like to call it.
We do call it that.
We just started calling it that.
We actually just started calling it that.
This is the first instance of the Sheth board being used. But it will not be the last.
I actually, Sheth's been on the FXO for a while, and I've talked to him a lot before he came here, but I didn't actually know that he used his keyboard in his lap until he got to the GOM house.
I didn't even know that. I was with him in MLG, and I don't think I knew that he did that either. And then I got here, and I was like, wait, what's with the Sheth board? And he was like, where'd that name come from? And I was like,
I use it in the future. Well, I don't know, when you see him play too, if you don't know that he actually uses it, it looks like he doesn't use a keyboard.
Yeah.
And then you sit there and you go, how Gosu is this guy? He actually does he clicks on the attack button with his mouse, doesn't even press A? How does he do that?
It's like really, I think the Koreans were having a field day the first time they saw that. They were all just going on about various things. I don't know what, I don't speak Korean, but it was strange, to say the least.
That is true.
First exposure to the Sheth board.
And actually, it looks like San might be able to keep this probe alive inside of Sheth's base. I don't think Sheth has noticed it. And so if he can keep that alive for a while, he'll be able to know exactly what's going on into the mid-game.
Yeah, that's actually really important for San. In these higher-level games, very rarely does the game decider end up being mechanics. It's usually not build orders. In some of the mirror matchups, it is. At least that's what Protoss tell me. And it's usually not micro. Sometimes there's some very early pressure that it comes down to, but a lot of what it comes down to, all this leading up is for me to actually say something important. A lot of what it comes down to is knowing what your opponent's doing and them not knowing what you're doing.
Exactly. Like those timing attacks that we saw last game, it's not about the timing attack, it's about was he ready for the timing attack.
Right.
So.
And, if Sheth's Overlord, if those 4 gateways had been built somewhere else, Sheth didn't see them, he would have lost that timing attack. You don't prepare for a 6-gate timing attack unless you see it coming or you think it's coming.
Exactly.
Here the Speedling's doing a little bit of damage, dancing around the cannon, not quite in range, and he's able to deny basically 2 mineral patches right now.
Exactly.
And that's really good.
Those are Shethlings.
Yes. The
We actually call them Shethlings. I have
really?
called them Shethlings, yeah.
Another probe goes down. This is actually really good. And you might be like, well, what's the big deal here? I don't really understand. The thing is, not only is he losing probes, but if he doesn't want to lose probes, basically every 3 to 4 seconds, he has to tell those probes that are mining those off patches to mine somewhere else. And that's less... What's that drone doing? Well, don't worry about that drone. I don't know. Yeah, you guys saw it, but...
Don't worry about that drone.
Don't worry about
There's
that.
no drone behind the curtain. Well, that drone over here is going to find that there's a pylon behind the curtain, so you can't make that hatchery just yet.
Whatever happened?
Again, this probe sneaks in here. The probe that was hiding before checked to see if there was a roach warren, and he didn't see one, so he knew it wasn't going to be a roach all-in.
Yep.
Now he's just able to waltz into Sheth's front door. Sheth left the front door open. He's such a nice guy, but sometimes being too nice, sometimes someone's going to come in your house and steal something. Steal some minerals, steal some scouting information. These things can happen.
Now, what I'd really like to see from Sheth is deliberately let the probe in. Meanwhile, hatchery, cancel, roach warren somewhere on the map. And all in him anyway. He's like, oh, I'm going to roll in, scout your base, no roach warren. And meanwhile, bam, 20 roaches. GG.
That would be quite interesting. Sometimes you do see players do stuff like that. And it looks like this assimilator will take a lot of damage.
Oh, and he does trap the Zealot. Very nice. Loses quite a few Zerglings, but he does kill the Zealot. And now there is no fighting unit from San. He'll be able to deny that Simulator. Nah, maybe not.
Well, the Zergling, the Zealot, will finally come out and deny that, but he has taken a lot of damage on it. But keeping it alive is what's important. Sheth definitely not getting the better hand there, losing a lot of links, but not actually taking it out.
Does start building a Sport. Did he see the Stargate?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
So he kind of figures out what's going on.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange place for the Stargate. If he had built it a little further back in the natural, I think it would have been more hidden. But
that's true.
It seems like most of these Stargate openings aren't designed to catch the Zerg off guard. Like, they go and kill an Overlord right away, and they're like, oh, Stargate.
Yeah. People they're not afraid to really hide it. But again, what it comes down to is, as you guys can see on the screen there, a lot of the Processes just start out with this Void Ray, try to control the map with it, and then just do a 6-gate timing attack. I'm
actually thinking that San has been doing the same build all 3 games.
Well, in the first game, it was a little bit different. He kind of just went... He made a lot of gateways, but he just kind of tried to control the map with them a little bit. He didn't try to hit a timing where he could just kill Sheth.
But didn't he have... Wasn't it like 6 gates?
Yeah, it was
Blink?
like 6 gates and Blink, and that is really the timing attack that's been really popular right now. This time, though, he doesn't have a Twilight Council. I think this is going to hit a little bit faster.
And what's he warping in? I feel like I saw some sentries warping in. So
well, he does have a few sentries from earlier.
It looks like it's going to be a more sentry-heavy timing attack here.
That's true. Lair is done for Sheth. He's researching Burrow and Roach Speed right now. Obviously, those aren't necessarily going to be done by the time San hits. I don't think it will be. San actually starting to warp in more Stalkers here, just harassing this Queen at the front as he moves forward with his units. They're going to be at the natural pretty soon, and that Queen will fall.
This is actually looking really scary for Sheth.
He only has 2 Roaches out and 24 Speedlings against a huge army of San that's walking forward. He's got a lot of sentries in this composition as well.
It's really important for San to control this properly. One little misstep here, get your army out of position, could be really bad. At the same time, he needs to attack soon. He can't give Sheth enough time to really make the army that he wants.
And there goes some Force Fields down, kind of isolating the Roaches. Nice counterattack there from the back, though, by Sheth.
Some Roaches not quite attacking. But a good surround from Sheth. I think he's going to clean this up.
I think he is too.
Very nice control by Sheth.
Just doing that nice flanking that we saw even earlier today against. Keep forgetting those players' names in the first set of games we saw.
Wind against.
Wind. Wind was able to flank on several different sides there, and this is a very similar situation.
Yep. I'm a little worried for Sheth right now. I feel like he's overextending himself just a little bit here, but he's going to see that with the Speedlings. He's going to back up, maybe lose some units to these Phoenixes. Did the Void Ray stay alive?
Nope, he lost the Void Ray earlier.
Void Ray is dead. He is going to stop, kill that pylon, and now we're going to see kind of a repeat of the previous game. Sheth has taken a very fast third. He's got a better economy. San went for a timing attack, and it didn't quite work.
Yeah, Sheth even already has spread creep at the 3rd base location of San, so San can't make a Nexus right away. He's killing a few drones here, but not too impactful. Sheth just has so many drones. He's got that 3rd base, but he's got that extra production. And honestly, from here, Sheth can kind of make whatever sorts of choices he wants as long as he plays safe. He's so far ahead. Yep. Right now... Oh, go ahead. Go for it, QXC.
San opting for some Blink.
Yeah, he really likes that Blink play. He likes to go extremely Stalker heavy, which isn't bad, isn't really abnormal, but that type of style is just becoming really predictable because he's done it every game.
Right. And this may end up being a situation where the winner of the set is the player who plays a little bit differently and not quite the same each time. We have seen Sean do the Muta Speedling opening twice in a row, and this game, he went for slightly faster Roaches. I actually think if Sheth had open Mutas, he would have just died to that attack.
Most likely, yeah. He just barely held it with some good... You know, he had the Speedlings coming from one side, the Roaches coming from the other. Just had a nice little flank, a nice surround. But you're right. If he had invested in those Mutas and he was making those Mutas, I don't think he would have had enough units to hold.
Yeah, I don't think he would have had the units in time. So San was kind of playing to what he had seen his opponent do, and he tried to counter it. And Sheth decided to play a little bit differently. But that is a ton of units. Sheth's army does not look so big.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He does have burrowed movement, Roach speed, he's got all the Roach upgrades. The Roaches do have +1 missile attacks right now. And he is going to be able to burrow under force fields, but I don't know, it's still a ton of Stalkers.
Yeah, that is a lot of Stalkers.
If he force fields appropriately and blocks out the Speedlings, this is going to still be really difficult for Sheth to deal with.
We do have 16 Roaches in production here. Sheth just needs to buy more time. He is pulling drones. Oh, and he does flank. I'm not sure about this.
Well, a lot of these Stalkers are starting to fall. The Mutas, though, not doing as much damage as they could. He needs to fall back a little bit. He has kept most of those drones alive. 2 Roaches here getting a little bit over-eager. Even a Queen.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that Queen.
Not sure about that Queen at all.
A little slow flank from the Queen.
She's like, I got this. Where'd you guys go?
Hey guys. Guys, I'm over here.
I think Sheth may have bought enough time. He may lose this hatchery, but if so, he's still going to be able to clean up most of these Stalkers, and San may be forced to retreat, even though he has a lot of Stalkers. Blinking back, giving Corruptors out here in the mix. And again, Sheth just having so many units. He's even pulling some drones here just to make sure he can win this fight.
A very nice concave from Sheth. But the Blink Micro is quite good here. Some units coming back, and the Queen trying to butt her way into the battle.
Yeah, those Queens actually getting a little bit too big-headed, I think, trying to battle here. Need to be doing some transfuses. And actually, Sheth may not have enough Roaches here because those Queens have not been injecting. He just hasn't been able to reproduce his Roaches as fast as San has been reproducing his Stalkers.
And this is really interesting because Sheth is ahead. He's still ahead, but his control is starting to slip a little bit. I think holding off that attack, he might have felt like the game was already over, and San is telling him, no, it's not. We're playing this out. You have to keep playing good. Sheth, you need to get your game back up, or things could start going really badly for you.
But again, he just has so many Roaches here, and you can't blink back forever. And again, as these Stalkers fall, Sheth's starting to get more and more units out. He's actually making 20 Speedlings right now. They're about to pop, and when they do, he's going to be able to really cut off their retreat. And again, finally realizing I can burrow, and he hadn't been using that yet, and that was something I was going to mention. He just really wasn't using that burrow to its fullest potential.
I don't know what San like forgot that there were burrowed units. I don't know. That doesn't seem like the best place to be engaging from.
No, it does not. He's blinking actually back to a place where he can't really retreat from after his cooldown is done, and now he's getting surrounded. Even the drones coming out, Sheth realizing I can catch them here before he can blink again.
All the Stalkers on the high ground basically become sacrifices. The Muta's doing a good amount of damage. More Speedlings running in. The Speedlings very important to force these Stalkers to blink, and then surrounding them, doing a ton of damage. And Sheth is going to clean this up, producing enough Roaches to do it.
I think from here, that's it. GG. Sheth advances to the round of 16.
Well won, San says. GG.
We have this joke.
I don't know what that was.
I don't.
A T, and a heart?
I don't know. That was a little bit strange, but...
Well, Sheth has a ceremony. I'm sure Team Liquid will figure out what it means. But very well played by Sheth. Great control, great defense.
Well won, I have to say.
Well won, yes.
We have a saying in the Gom house, the Epic So house, whatever you want to call it. Everyone always says well won, then see a W. I'm like, no, that's not what that means. It's just because that's where the W key is the G key in Korean, and everyone's like, no, Wolf, it's well won. So we have this argument. So now you guys know our little inside joke. I explained it to you.
Yes.
But yeah, Sheth is going to advance. Not many foreigners have done that. Moonglade, of course, lost in the round 32, and his chance. Huck advanced. Huck obviously in Code S right now, but it's not normal for a foreigner to make it this far.
And they're all of FXO, except for Ian Wolf, congratulating Sean. He's got to be feeling really good about that. He's done something that, like you said, very few people have done. Very great accomplishment, taking down a former Code S player. And you can see the relief on his face.
Yeah. And now he's got the ability to maybe get into Code S. He doesn't have his dreams shattered, because that's pretty much how you feel if you lose in the round of 32 in Code 8. You feel like your dreams are shattered.
Yeah.
Because if you lose in the qualifiers, you feel terrible as well. But it's like, well, I'll just do it next time. But if you qualify and then do badly, it's like... Or if you're in San's position and you were in Code S and you were a really top Code S player, then you fall down to Code A and this guy just comes in and he just knocks you out, and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to have to go back to the qualifiers. I remember that, and you like start crouching up on a ball, and you're like, oh, it's so scary. I had to do that a long time ago. I was hoping I would never have to do it again. But San will have to do it again.
Yep. We may see him at the next Code A qualifiers.
Yeah.
Not someone I would like to play.
Not someone I would like to play either, man.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Yep.
But obviously, Sheth just kind of outplayed him, and I have to be critical of him for doing the same exact build game after game. And that's the thing about Pro Losses right now. They're just doing that because I feel like Pro Losses just don't know. I'm not saying that Zerg is overpowered. I feel like Pro Losses just don't really know how to play the matchup right now.
Well, the thing is, like the first 2 games, it was Void Ray Phoenix into Blink Stalker timing. But the third game was Void Ray Phoenix into fast gateway timing, designed to take advantage of the fact that Sheth was going fast Spire every game. The Spire takes so long to morph, 120 seconds compared to Roach speed, which is 80 seconds. Roach is obviously ready to go when you get the Roach Warren at Hatchery Tech, and the Muta's not, couple of Mutas, not a big deal, but Sheth changed up his gameplay. San went for something that countered what he thought he would be doing, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, and his blink control was amazing when he was attacking.
Yeah.
I mean, that was actually, we didn't stress enough, his blink control is so perfect. Well, the problem is, there's a limit to how much you can blink. You just can't blink forever, and
even the best blink control in the world loses to an overwhelming number of units.
After you run out of shields, I mean, once you blink back the other stalkers, those stalkers that are coming at the front, they haven't recharged yet, and it gets pretty nasty.
And I mean, San really, he kind of forced himself into a rut in terms of what he could do strategically. He goes for the big 2-base timing attack. Sheth has good vision of the map. He knows he's not taking a third, and now it becomes very obvious to Sean what's coming.
Exactly. So, especially after you've seen it before, you know, it's that type of build that you see a lot on the ladder. You see it a lot in practice games because it just happens so often. Because right now, like I keep stressing, Pro Losses I think are just doing that because they don't really understand, and it's kind of weird for Sheth. I mean, it's not weird for Sheth. It's weird for San. He's like, how does he know what I'm doing? It's like, well, you did it before,
right?
And you know, it's kind of predictable right now in the state of the meta game that we're in right now. To be honest, you expect timing attacks like that from Pro Losses. You just do.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a lot of people about it, and the Gom House, just other casters, saying, have you noticed that Pro Losses 6-gate a lot? Not only in PvZ, but also in PvT, they just do. Because I feel like they're not entirely sure how to kind of figure it out. So we are going to have a 5-minute break here in just a second. QXC's writing something on a piece of paper down here. He's going to send me a secret message. You guys can't see what it is.
It's very important.
It's very important. Okay. It says, I'm going to pass you a note.
You weren't supposed to tell them.
I know.
This is the secret paper.
But it just made me feel really weird. I had to tell them. All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break. See you guys in 5.
And we'll be back soon.